I thought for the longest time, like, I was like, why? I had like, it was like the most boomer moment ever. I was like, why are people typing 07 in Twitch chat? And then my friend explained to me, don't you see? It's like the head, and he's like saluting. I felt so stupid.
0110011011001. That's how computers say the word hello. I just made it up though. But that's because this episode we're talking about WCA tech and WCA statistics, and just in general, like changes that have happened with the WCA website. Oh, Chai, what's happening? No, is this bad enough to restart?
No, it's so funny.
No, I know we're gonna keep going.
Okay.
I thought you would be like, you know, cheer me on.
No, I think it's awesome. So here's a complete sidebar. I think so.
Yeah.
For people who haven't noticed, in the podcast we try to rotate who the host is. So like we can like give you like a variety, right? And you know, Chai and I have like very YouTuber intros, but Cary's intros are always the most off the walls creative things. They're so funny. Like if we ever do a like overinspected intros tier list, your intros are gonna like definitely like hit like the top.
Oh, I got caught so off guard here.
No, I feel like I've forgotten most of them, but like when I rewatch them, I'll be like, oh my god.
I feel like you might cringe at them, but I think they're hilarious. So, and that's hats off to you, my friend.
Well, that's really good to hear. Like, I think that makes me feel like maybe, you know, I should intro more.
Yes,
possibly. Okay, anyway, sorry. This was totally unrelated.
Anyway, okay. Yeah. Well, it was a good intro to what we're going to talk about this episode, which is just, I guess, what the WST has been working hard at for the last 10 plus years or 20 years. You know, the website, the database, the way we see our results from the competition. What is the inner workings of all these numbers? How does it happen?
Oh, what is that?
Yeah. So this is I picked Timon Kolosinski's page because I felt like he's the world record holder right now, and so I felt like he is the most impressive.
He also
numbers.
has a very dashing photo.
Yeah, he has a very good photo.
I know, yeah. This feels like a photo shoot kind of photo with the like lighting.
The background, I feel, it's like photo shoot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
Maybe we should have that. Maybe we should have that for the CubersLive team.
Oh, I mean, would we post it on our WCA profiles, or is it like specifically?
I have no idea.
Anyway, okay. Before this podcast goes off the rails completely again, WST. Cary is exactly right. There's so many interesting things that have happened to the website, and I think so. The reason I wanted to talk about this, at least, or why I was interested in talking about it, was because I think the WST goes underappreciated. I'm gonna put that out there. I think it goes underappreciated. We talk about WRC, we talk about the board, we talk about WCAT, we talk about ethics, we talk about financials, but no one ever talks about software team. That's what WST is, and their whole job is to any sort of like software that runs with the WCA. Think the website. Think WCA Live, the WCA database, WCA statistics, and I think this is the coolest thing, anything that links to WCA, like, you know, you can use your WCA login for, all of that stuff is managed by the software team. And I kind of want to do a little bit of a blast from the past a little bit and talk about like the way that the website used to look in the past and a lot of things that have changed now. So I don't know. Let's start with this. I don't know if you guys you guys remember CubeComps?
Yeah.
I think that is the best example of some like there was a before and
and CubeComps I think is so. First of all, to describe CubeComps for anyone who doesn't know, we have WCA Live right now, and WCA Live is basically where all of the live results are posted. That's how we track at competitions. Like, let's say like there's a round 1 of 3x3 and round 2 of 3x3, and maybe the top 75% of competitors make it into round 2. well, how do you know who's keeping tabs on who is the top 75 competitors? And maybe the organization team, but then how do you get that information out? Well, we just use a website. You could like, I actually remember, I think there was a competition I went to in 2013. I think before we had it all on like websites, I think someone actually like printed it out on a piece of paper and then stuck it on like the wall of a gymnasium, or we were in a cafeteria. That's where my first competition was held. And people, I think this actually happened. I think I went up to there and I would like try and like look for my name to see like if I had qualified for the next round. I think that's how it used to be done. Keep in mind, this was literally 10 years ago. This was 2013. That's how it used to be done. But then there was this website that I came to know of called CubeComps, which was, I don't remember his name, but he was a very nice, I don't want to say what nationality because I think I'm gonna get it wrong. Luis is right.
Luis J. Juanes.
I don't know. I don't want to say anything.
Anyways, he the founder of CubeComps.
Yeah. This very nice guy, and that's where it was like a third-party website basically, and that's where you would upload and basically set up competitions. So you could set up, hey, like I want to have a competition and I want to set it up on CubeComps, and I want to have 3 rounds of 3x3. I want to have, let's say, like 2 rounds of square 1 and 2 rounds of 2x2. Awesome. You could set that up. You could import the competitors from the registration, and there you go. Your website is set up. You can input their times, and people could go to that website live, and it's like see the changes. That way, you don't have to go around gymnasiums or cafeterias like printing out pages, sticking them up. Everyone just look at it on their phone, and you're good to go. The only thing is, CubeComps is a very old website, and it was not affiliated with the WCA in basically any way at all. It was a third-party website, so all it would do is that it would take output that the WCA or other WCA actual related websites would generate and use that data to build a website. More, in some sense at least, it would build that website for you. But it was not directly affiliated with the WCA. But that is all very different now. Nowadays, we have this fancy thing called WCA Live, which has not only linked the whole process with the WCA, and I believe WCA Live also has features that make it easier to upload results. Is that true?
Yeah, it's way easier to upload results.
Yeah.
CubeComps was actually so complicated.
Yeah.
I do not miss it.
Yeah. Well, I have a bit of nostalgia for it, I think, but like obviously not from like the management and the delegating side. So yeah, now WCA Live is like much better integrated with the WCA itself, and it has like basically the same functionality as CubeComps. Another cool thing is like you can see like which world records, continental records, national records happened in the last like I think week or whatever, recently at least. So that you can see all those. You can see all the competitions that are happening, past competitions. You can look at basically any results you want, and WCA Live just works. The data entry just enters the time in, and it populates. You hit enter, it just uploads it to the server, and you can just see it. And it made it look very modern. CubeComps was information dense to say in some sense. The margins on things were very small, but WCA Live is cleaner in my opinion, and I think the way it lays out information is much more modern, at least. Whether or not that's good or bad, I'll let that be your decision. But
I mean, to me, CubeComps looks like an Excel spreadsheet, and WCA Live looks like a scoreboard.
You know what? That is exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. It did look like an Excel spreadsheet.
I mean,
yeah, I think aside from the aesthetics though, like the biggest improvement from going from CubeComps to WCA Live is that like you're not going to this third party place where like I think when third party like volunteers make their own like services or websites or whatever, like they're not obligated or entitled to make it or maintain it. Like maybe like years from now, like since they're a volunteer, they just quit or they move on. Whereas like I think with it being WCALive.com or whatever the website is, like you know that this is the same institution that also like tracks the permanent scoreboards that last for decades, you know? So it feels like this is the legit place and you don't need to worry about it breaking down.
Right. And the reason why is because
it just feels a lot more
instead of just having one person do it, right? As it was with CubeComps, you have like a whole team of people who do it, and you know there are constantly people coming in and out of the WST, and you know there are always new software developers willing to take on the mantle and not only maintain but also do more stuff. So yeah, the reason why we have WCA Live in the format that we do is thanks to the vision of the World Cubing Association software team, WST.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kudos to them.
Are there changes in the way that the WCA website or other things that you guys have noticed that you'd like to talk about?
We could talk about how competitions, like you, in order to like enroll in competitions, you used to have to go to third-party websites for those too.
Yes, I remember this.
Like it, or also like if you want to see what the schedule for a competition was, it would be like posted on some weird link.
Wow.
Like I just remember like the schedule would often be on like really small, on like Cubing USA.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the Cubing USA websites.
Yeah, and like I guess it's the same thing as before. It's just better to have everything in one place.
Yeah.
Now, as
Oh my god. That's like. Yeah. Go ahead.
There's a lot of features of like bookmarking competitions. That's just like really nice that like you can just keep track of it. And you couldn't do that before when every competition had its own.
I really
website.
like favorite events. That way.
That's also a good
stream,
feature.
Like, I never want to do 5-line, for example. Well, not me, because we know why.
But well, you are.
That's a different story. But let's say that you as a competitor don't care about 5-line. Well, you just never have to click that button.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of things like you can sort competitions by like I don't know, the country they're in or like when they're happening. And also events, like you said. You can be like, what competitions near me have 3-blind because I'm like on a 3-blind grind streak.
Yeah. Chai, do you remember what it was like submitting competitions before the WCA had like web pages on its own?
Like no, because ever since I've been a delegate, I've never had to deal with that. But I dealt with it as a competitor. Mm-hmm. And what I will say is I was also a new competitor and I was like an adult still. So it was like 2015, 2016, around that time. To me, registering felt confusing. I didn't know exactly where to go or what to do. Obviously where to go. You go to cubingusa.org, find the competition page, you register, right? But it just makes so much more sense for me as a competitor to just know that the WCA website is my one-stop shop. Mm-hmm. It was just a nice integration, but no, I've never had to deal with it as a delegate. I was a delegate like much later.
Yeah, I think Latte is angry about something.
So Latte, my cat, is chiming into the conversation. He doesn't like.
He didn't like the old websites.
Yeah, he didn't like the old website either.
Yeah,
so.
That makes sense.
He's meowing in pain
he's
just
cringing,
thinking about
man.
that.
He can't bear to like relive those days.
Was he even alive when those days happened?
Not at all.
Not even close.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, I remember those goofy Cubing USA pages. Like the ones I remember are ones with the blue banners at the top.
Yeah, it's a blue banner. It's kind of like a gradient, and then there's like a not diagonal, but like the 3x3
in white. In white.
Yeah.
It was like rounded. It had like all the rounded corners.
Yeah, rounded corners.
Oh my god,
I remember that too.
Oh my god, I actually cannot believe.
Well, I wonder if those sites are
they
still
are,
up.
dude. I think they are.
Sites, like,
I think
they
are.
Go to them.
If you want to see the first competition I ever went to,
Actually,
New Albany, 2013, I think. New Albany Summer 2013, perhaps. That one.
Wow.
That was the first competition I ever went to. I think I checked it like maybe like a year or two ago, and it was still up there. You can still visit that site.
Well, I tried Google searching it. It didn't pop up, but what did pop up is Rubik's Cube Championship 2013.
Yeah, there we go.
Like, this was not Cubing USA, but it's the same.
It's the same blue banner.
Light blue banner.
Oh my goodness.
And then like there's different tabs for home events, schedule, travel, registration.
Yeah. So that's the websites used to look like back then. And remember, for anyone who's like relatively new, that is how you register for competition. You would go onto the third-party website. It would look like that. It doesn't look like it's affiliated with WCA at all. And then you have to go and register through there. And I think the way that you used to register was also like not very streamlined. I think you had to like enter everything in because there's no such thing as like a WCA account. You had to like enter in your full name.
Yeah.
I think you had to enter like your date of birth also. Which events you want to compete in using the radio buttons. I think, or it was the checklist. You had to insert using the checklist.
God.
How many guests were gonna be there? You know, you have to fill all of that stuff in every single time.
What a flash from the past, dude.
And dude, the way that and I think one of the cool things is like back then, like site sheets were like relatively rare. I feel. I remember I used to look at a couple site
I don't
sheets.
think they. Oh yeah, like they had to be created manually.
Oh, is that how they were done? They were made manually.
They had to create it
Yeah.
manually. That would have taken forever.
Well, maybe it wasn't manually, but one thing I think is interesting is this is the registration page, and they have prices for like if you sign up for these events. And what's funny is the most expensive event is 3x3 with feet. It was $10 if you signed up like really early, but then it gets more expensive. And if you sign up for with feet like at the door, it's $50.
Imagine paying 50, and this is in 2013 too. That's not. You know, no one's paying $50 to do feet in this economy or that economy.
I know,
Can you
yeah.
imagine?
I mean, okay.
$50.
I
Oh my god.
But that's at the door. Like I think most reasonable competitors know to plan in advance.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this isn't software related, but I also remember back in the day, there used to be a lot of competitions that were like base fee is like maybe $10 plus $2 for every event you compete in. But I think that has since been like kind of retired. Now it feels like it's just flat fee for whatever. But I don't know. I heard at some point, I feel like I heard that the WCA or WCAT stopped accepting competitions with that price format. Is that true?
I haven't seen a price format like that, and I don't even know of an option to do it that way. It doesn't allow you on the WCA website. That's for sure. To select events individually. It doesn't allow you to.
I see.
But I guess in theory, you could still export the registration to a different website, that's still possible.
Right. You can choose to do it. That I know. But WCA will also just generate it for you, which I think is like way easier. Makes a lot of sense.
I have a question for you guys. So I have a question in a sense of like things that have been on the WCA website, on the WCA software team, their agenda. I have a couple things in mind that are not a part of that WCA page, and you guys tell me what you think would be good to put in there. First one, do you think it'd be hard, or do you think it'd be a good, bad implementation for like recognizing the memberships, Kinchranks, and Nemeses?
Okay, so these are
which ones should be implemented?
These are all things we gotta explain.
Yeah, which one should we start with?
Right. So I think they all take a little bit of time. I guess the first one, memberships. There's just all these.
You are the best one to explain this because you're the only one with actual membership in this podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Am I? I guess I am silver. So anyway, it's sort of like if you get an official reading in every event for like a single, then you get bronze membership. And then if you have a single and an average in every event, then it's a silver membership. And there are tiers above that as well. I think for gold, you also need either a world record or some type of record, or like a champion podium, like a championship podium. But then like if you have both of them, then it's up to like platinum or something.
I think
don't
you need
remember
all
what the
three of them for
specifics are.
platinum, right?
But I think yeah, I think for platinum you need world record, continental record, national record, and a championship podium, and then everything below.
Oh my god.
Well, although we should mention these are.
But anyway,
I think that is from the old system, but from before they added big blind means. That's what I remember at least.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think it makes sense to like require all three, because if you have a world record, you already have everything below. So. Or like
true?
No, if you have a world record, okay. No, it's not.
Yeah.
What I meant is like, okay, so if you have a world record, you have a continental and national record, but you don't necessarily have like all your events filled out.
That's true.
So I guess just to clarify, it's like, I don't know if what I'm saying is exactly correct.
People can look it up.
But the gist of it is, like, they want to recognize, well-rounded speed cubers for their abilities in some kind of more permanent way, like as if you've like become a member of this upper class of speed cubers. Yeah. And I think once you get a membership, it never gets taken away. Right.
So because like once you receive like silver, for example, if they add more events, then maybe you should have to recompete. I guess because that was the idea with big blind means, right? Is that people who were silver, then you need to get big blind means in order to regain silver.
Yeah. I think like the event of like adding an event is so rare that it's sort of an anomaly. So like I think ideally, once you have a membership, you keep it for life.
That's true. I think.
I can't.
Sorry, go ahead.
I can't imagine it's that difficult to add this feature to the WCA.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like it would be cool.
Well,
it would be really cool. I think it would be really so. Currently on the website, let's say if you go to any delegate, right, or if you go to anyone who's a member of any of the official WCA teams, WCAT, WST, WRC, they have a little like badge on there.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I was thinking that maybe it makes sense to okay, all right, Chai. we get it. You got a little badge. I was thinking that maybe it makes sense to put a little badge there, bronze, silver, gold, platinum. That would be
the color.
Yeah, with the color. I think that would be a really cool way to. Yeah, so there you go. So it looks it looks like this.
That's what the badge looks like.
For the people listening on,
you can see it's brown.
For the people listening on Spotify, Cary just pulled up my WCA profile. Dude,
I did because it's like people might wonder like, what does he mean a badge? But this is what it is. It's like a brown little smudge.
A little smudge. Okay. Whoa.
Okay, that was pretty. Okay, I shouldn't say it like that. No, delegates are people. Well, okay. Like imagine. Okay, so like let's say Chai is both a delegate and he manages to get like a single in every event. Then I would imagine there would be like a second badge side by side with the delegate badge, and that would be pretty cool.
That'd be super sick. That'd be super sick. Hello, Latte. Would you like to discuss adding memberships to WCA? Oh man.
Latte is just like listening intently.
Maybe Latte could be the next WCA Platinum member.
This is something that I would love to see implemented. I just don't know if it's reasonable. But would you guys think that Kinchranks implementation as a new ranking system, do you think that would work?
Yeah. Okay.
As for me, I always thought like having a little bit of weight added to all that stuff would be good.
Yeah. All right. So let's explain Kinchranks, because I feel like Kinchranks has kind of fallen off recently. I haven't heard people talk about Kinchranks that much. Yeah. But Kinchranks is basically a method that's devised to figure out who is like basically like how. I think I might be misremembering this. I think it was originally designed as a way to tell like how well-rounded a cuber was in all events. So the way that it would work is that you would get a score for every event, and that score would be the number of people that were below you in the official rankings. I think it was something like that. And then that gets added up over all events that you've competed in. And if you haven't competed in everything, it's just the total number of competitors plus one. That gets added up, and whoever has the lowest number of that is top of Kinch, or maybe this is sum of ranks instead.
Yeah, I think
never
that's
mind.
just sum of ranks where you're just adding up like discrete numbers like that.
Oh, Kinch has to do with the results, right?
But I think
like the numerical numbers.
Yeah. Like what Kinchranks will do is it'll take a ratio of your result and the world record time. And like, let's say you have a time that's twice as bad as the world record. Like, let's say the world record for 3x3 single is 3.47, and you have double that, which is 6.94. Then you would get 50 points for 3x3 out of 100. And every event, like, you can get up to 100 points. 100 if you have the world record, 0 if you haven't done it, and like 50 if you have twice as bad. And you average across all events, you get like this sort of holistic score of like how well-rounded you are. And the idea is like sum of ranks is not as good because it's biased towards events that a lot of people compete in.
That's what it was, yeah.
Like 3x3. And I think was it? I forget his name. Is it
Daniel sounds right.
Oh, are you talking about
Daniel Shepard? I think Daniel Shepard came up with Kinchranks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he had like, I think, pretty sound reasoning for all the decisions he made. Like, he decided that for like the N by N's, you should use average because average is a better like indicator for your overall skill. But then for like 3 blind, you use single.
That makes sense.
Stuff like that.
Interesting. Sum of ranks is on the WCA website.
I think it is.
Yeah.
So this is something else.
Kinchranks is not.
Yeah, this is something else that the WST added in. I think fairly recently, at least. I think at some point within the last 5 years, you can go. There's a statistics page that you can go to the WCA, and in there it has a bunch of cool statistics. Like I think one of the cool ones that I found is like longest WRs, like how long the WR stood before it was broken. Longest streak of 3 blind successes, which I think is a really, really cool statistic to have. And sum of ranks. I think sum of ranks is on there now.
Yeah, I
Kinch
think it
isn't on there. But I think Kinch also doesn't seem that hard to calculate. It seems like all you're doing is just comparing a competitor's results to the world record. You know, the world record is just static at any given time. So that doesn't seem that hard, and you can probably calculate that on the fly. It's not something that you need to store in the database.
Yeah, I guess the question isn't really about how hard it is to implement, because I feel like all of these are kind of like they almost feel like a, I don't know, level 1 coding, like leak code exercise.
All right.
I think it's more about like whether it's the WST's obligation. Okay, that sounds like a. Like,
I was gonna say, like, all right, he's AI coder. You know,
dude, Cary's a god.
Well, okay, not
just a god.
Okay, not level 1. Okay, level 1 is like really mean. I guess what I meant is like, I think given enough time, like let's say, like you had a task like implement Kinchranks. If you had like a couple weeks, I'm sure like you could do it. It's not math that has not been discovered yet, right?
I think that's accurate.
I guess what I was trying to get at is like, I wonder if it's the WST's like responsibility to sort of do these like maybe fun fact kind of statistics, whereas there might be more pressing issues.
For sure. Yeah,
I'm sure
that's a good point.
If you tried to register for a competition in 2020 or 2021, you have probably encountered some of those issues, and the WST is the one who has to deal with that. So.
Yeah. Did you want to elaborate that a little bit?
Yeah.
We had an entire episode dedicated to the
I think it's called "We Gotta Fix Competition Registration." We talked about how basically it would fill up instantly, and because of that, like the website, like basically every hour, the website would at least suffer a mini crash because it would receive a ton of requests for people who were trying to register. But I think the WST did manage to fix that. I think they just beefed up their servers so that they could handle more demand.
You just basically pay more out of pocket?
Yeah.
I think so. Don't quote me on this. I think so.
Yeah, I think that was a very good move on their part. But yeah, I feel like there's always some more pressing issue that like is not super obvious to users that must be happening. Like, before they would ever think about like doing the fun statistics. But I think the fact that they do have a like a single page for the fun statistics is really nice.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Because I think it's
there for people who want it.
A lot of new cubers. Yeah, or I guess what I was thinking is like new cubers. If they've never heard of it before, it kind of gives them more content to like browse the website for a little longer. And like, the more interesting content there is on the website, I think the more likely it is that a new cuber will sort of like fall in love with the database. Like imagine being like 12 years old and being like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that you could calculate sum of ranks just by downloading this giant SQL database and doing fun operations on it.
That is also
I
think that is also that's a major innovation for me, at least, because until I think about 2017 or 2018, I didn't realize that the WCA, like, you can access the WCA database. It's a public database that you can download the data for and, you know, do whatever SQL queries you want. And SQL, by the way, is like is it a language? I guess it's a language, isn't it?
I think it's like server.
Okay, so it's officially a language that you can use to query databases. And you can use it to collect a lot of like information together, and it's very efficient for doing so. So yeah, you can make SQL queries to the WCA database, and there's a lot of like cool results that you can pull off out of this. And I think one of the funniest like consequences of this is that there was I don't know if there's people still post to this Facebook group called WCA Statistics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that page. About. There were always so many funny statistics going on in there. And one of my favorite posts on that page was guess that statistic.
Oh yeah, I was about to mention that. It was so funny.
People would like post like the top 10 of whatever statistic that they calculated, right? And then sometimes they would just give like the IDs, and it was like, oh, try and figure out what this is. There were some really, really clever ones. Like most competitions in Nebraska. Like, all right, sure.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like most second place wins in competitions. Things that like aren't necessarily fully good or fully not obvious. But I think like the fact that like you could run this game that's like guess the statistic means that there are hundreds if not thousands of possible queries you can make to the database that all return something that like a human could guess, but it's like each one is a little more difficult than one before it. It's just like it turns the database into like, I don't know, a whole universe to explore.
Totally.
Which I think is fun.
And you know, things like that, the fact that that's available is just really cool, and that's something that like you can peruse, and you can build lots of other interesting things off of. For example, let's say like you wanted to build a competitive ladder or something, you know, you could look through all the results of the WCA, and you could just create a ladder that way. You can compare people to the times of everyone else around the world, figure out who's the best, and give them rankings if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, and then I guess I'm just looking at like the plan we had written beforehand. One other thing that we talked about earlier, just wanted to clarify what it is.
I forgot.
Nemeses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a Nemesis is just another speedcuber who is better than you at every event. It's a pretty simple like definition, but like it gets like surprisingly intricate when you try to figure out how many Nemeses you have and like what events you need to improve at to like get rid of your Nemeses. Right. But like there was a website that tracked Nemeses. It was called Nemeses.
Yeah. And this is like a big thing in the cubing community. I remember everyone was obsessed with like trying to reducing how many Nemeses they had or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That was one of the statistics that I was like, I could not get on board with it. I just could not bother knowing how many people were better than me. Like I already knew that people were better, you know.
Oh.
I couldn't get on board.
Well, I think it's like a little humiliating like, to know, because it's like every event that you've tried at, someone is like, you're not better than them at any of the 70 events out there.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But then again, there's also some random ones. Like, for example, like I'm an extremely mediocre cuber, right? I'm worse than most people at most events, but I just randomly happen to really like clock. And so because of that, like, I think like there was a point where I only had like 20 Nemeses or something like that. Even though like I don't even think like my 3x3 average is top 10,000 anymore. Like,
Oof.
yeah. So like right, like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're talking
Well, yeah,
about. But like, I think there's a time where I only
I
had
think-
20 Nemeses because everyone else just didn't really do clock. So
I think the lesson there is all it takes is one, meaning one event. You just need to get good at one event, and you can squash.
you need to
almost
all your. If you get WR in any event, then all your Nemeses are gone.
Yeah, I remember once I met Graham Sigans at a competition, and I was like, I still have 2 Nemeses left to defeat. How many do you have? And then before he even opened his mouth, I was like, oh, right. you have the world record. You're the best multi-blinder in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have any Nemeses.
Hey, Graham is so chill. By the way, guys, if you guys didn't know, a long time ago in the pandemic, we actually hosted something called TPC Talks with Graham
Oh
Siggins.
yeah, we did. Yeah, that's
so you can if you want like a secret podcast episode, you can check it out there. We also talked to the FDO Papa, Ben Streeter.
We did, didn't we? We did another one too.
Oh, I had no idea.
I think it was Ben Streeter and Graham Siggins.
Maybe, okay,
but
maybe
that's
yeah,
like a
that's
special.
like 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's like a couple secret Overinspected episodes only on YouTube.
Only on YouTube, yeah.
Whoa, that was like Overinspected before
Yeah,
Overinspected.
That's when we were underinspected for sure.
Like,
Underinspected.
I mean,
that's clever.
definitely.
I like that.
I do have one ask for the WST though. I don't know if this is actually happening, but just a quick ask. I don't know for sure how hard it is to do. There's a ton of parents that accidentally double charge themselves when they register for our comps.
Oh.
It would be hugely beneficial if we turn on the donation boxes. If it wasn't so clear to them that they're typing in the price. What happens right now is in the WCA registration, it says, oh, registration is $20. Under the box is like additional funds, and you can type in as much as you want or how much to pay. A lot of people will type in $20 on that box, not knowing that you can skip it.
Oh, that's
So-
why.
That's why they get charged
I mean,
$40.
Because I've
so
noticed,
we get
I've
we get a ton
noticed-
of emails about it.
I've noticed as an organizer that sometimes like random people will like it's $20 registration fee. Random people will pay $40. I was like, huh? They must really like what we do. All right.
There's
man.
there's an additional box, and you can tell because when you go to register, as organizers, we'll clear ourselves, right? So that's just one thing that we do, but we always ignore it. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I hope would be rectified in the future or made more clear. It would be great to keep the donation box there, but if they can make it visually more clear that it's a donation and not that they're typing in the amount that they're paying.
Right.
If they type in the amount that they're paying, it's double.
I think it's funny because like you could just put 0 in there and like that is totally valid. Like all your dues are paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just put a 1 there because I'm like I'm such a nice person.
All right, that's
Oh
very
my
vain
God.
of you. If you think you get if you do it because you think you're a nice person, that's so vain, man.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But I think it's just funny. Like you can kind of put whatever
true.
number you want in there. But I guess that's a lesson in UI design. It's like you could call the customers like lazy for not reading it, but honestly, with good UI, that should never happen.
Right.
Like,
People shouldn't get confused.
You want the especially if they're your customers. You want them to know where their money's going.
Cary's being a bit spicy today, calling out lazy UI, and then with the level 1 coding.
That's not what I meant. Oh my god. Wait, I feel really bad because like I'm actually really bad at coding these things, and like every website I've coded has been like 10 times worse.
UI is hard.
I guess like UI is hard because it's not like there's no right or wrong answer. People have like differing opinions about like what is the most logical. But yeah, I think that people not donating when they didn't mean to is probably like to be avoided ideally.
Well, one other thing that I was thinking about, like things that could be eventually implemented on the website, I was thinking something about like, well, so I was thinking about something like world record progression, right? I think you can, I think you might be able to already see something like that, but I was wondering if there was something like more visual. And then I'm like, wait a second, we've already solved this problem. Cary has already solved this problem for us. Like he's already made like world record progression videos. So if we could get something like that, that would be really cool to watch.
I appreciate the shout out. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a blast from the past for me as well, because like I definitely made those like back in the mid 2010s, but I think it's like not too hard because the thing is, my videos will go out of date like as soon as the video goes up. Someone else will get a new result that like renders the video outdated. I feel like it wouldn't be too hard if it's like directly attached to the database itself, because then it's like when new results come in, like the bar graph would be like interactive and it would like respond to new data.
Oh, really? You can do that?
Okay. Well,
new
like
data only comes in like once every day, right? At most.
Yeah. Well, okay, I will say that like I don't think anyone has to implement this because like I have thought for years, you know, shouldn't I just make the bar graph update automatically on some page? And I haven't done it just because of like, you know, I always have other projects that are like, you know, more pressing.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I think for every coding project, the amount of work that it actually takes is like 2 to 10 times more than the amount of work you predict it will take. So like I don't want anyone, even if they're on the WST or like any other like organization, to think that like they have to make this bar graph thing, because like it could be, you know, months of work. And
I'm
maybe
sure
not that many people want
like
it.
to make everything like streamlined and work completely smoothly without any hitches and without any new features would take forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it would
I guess,
be cool to see some sort of like I think like being able to see world record progression would be pretty cool, because we were talking about this I think a couple episodes ago about how like we were talking about I think Max versus Timon. I think it'd be it'd be cool to see like how like the records go back and forth nowadays. I don't know if you guys have watched Summoning Salt recently, but nowadays he also does like world record progression graphs, and I think those look pretty cool with like the different colors, so you can see like how long they have the world record and then like who broke the world record right after them.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. I think speedrun.com, like the website, will draw the graph. And I do remember that like the WCA website had that at some point. Like they had like a graph where they would show like top 1 and then top 10 and then top 100, like basically what threshold you needed to get. Yeah, and like it was a colored like red, green, and blue. Oh, I found it. I found it.
Well,
I don't know if I can show this. Wait, let me open it on the laptop. So
we have the link, so I'll edit it in.
Yeah, we'll edit it in. And like I'll put my hands right here.
Oh, it'll be way bigger than that.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
It's here.
Wow, Chat, you must have magical powers. You're able to summon like graphs out of thin air. That's crazy. Even though Manu's probably the one who's doing it. Oh my god, I feel bad.
Editor in the sky.
Editor in the sky, baby.
See, 6 stack. I'm trying to type in the URL from here, but I guess I don't need to.
I wish you could zoom into this. Oh, never mind. You can. I'm an idiot. You can zoom into it.
Oh, you're trying to look at it right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, and like you can see, like, oh, if it were 2010 right now, then what would I need to be top 100?
Whoa. My god, that looks so cool.
It's so cool, right? Although...
Okay. I got it on the laptop, so this is just like in case you
okay,
forget
sure.
to edit
Also,
it,
which is not
like,
impossible, by the way.
The viewers will get to see it. Yeah. So it's weird because like the orange line goes up so high, it kind of renders the rest of the graph useless.
Yeah.
So I can see why you said like, how do I zoom in?
Yeah, exactly. Because that's like my first thought. Like, yeah, I don't know if I care about 1982 results.
Yeah, exactly. How do I zoom out?
There's
We're all
a
trying
button to
figure
zoom
out.
out. It's in the top left.
Oh yeah, zoom out.
It says zoom out.
Yeah, I see it. Okay. So this is a more zoomed in version, so the viewers know.
Yeah, they can see it
Going
actually
down
work.
over
Yeah.
time because cubing gets more competitive as the years go on. It's harder to compete against the faster and faster
Who would have
cubers.
thunk?
And what's cool is like in this you can see like how much the world record changes. Like there's one, I don't know which world record this was, but the single went from 872 to 708.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's Eric
708.
Like that's
That
a
was
huge,
Eric, right?
That's a huge improvement.
Yeah, that was Eric.
Yeah.
I
And
see,
then
okay.
Felix broke. I think Felix broke it.
A couple years
Yeah,
later,
Felix
yeah,
broke it.
2010.
677.
I think so. That's definitely Felix. Oh, 555.
Yeah, Felix
Mats
677.
Volk. Oh man,
True.
I remember
And he held that for like 2
that
years.
was a good single.
That was
at
a
the time.
long world record. I remember that.
That's crazy.
That's like 2 years.
Well, the crazy thing is that this current world record, 347, has lasted longer than I think every other single besides 1982.
Dude, yeah, this current world record single 3.47, it has lasted.
well,
forever.
I mean, to be fair, when it happened, it was like completely out of the blue.
347. Yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It was absolutely phenomenal.
It was a little too fast. For the
Yeah,
time.
but now we're getting to
Like, I
a
remember
position
just
where
thinking,
hey,
like-
people are catching up to it now. So okay,
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially, like, I think the 2 threes that we just saw from Singapore were full step, so that tells you something.
yeah, which is wild, right? Like, imagine getting lucky and skipping a step.
Yeah.
On the weekend that we're recording
know.
this episode, too, Luke Garrett got a 395.
Got on a 3.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I saw that one too. So now there's like
I think
8 or 9 people.
Yeah, I
with
think
threes.
Yeah.
Eight.
So
They're-
actually, Timon's 397, which he got again, by the way. He tied it. Timon's 397.
Yeah, I
is
saw
the
that too.
8th fastest sub 4 single. That's crazy.
I know, that is crazy. That's like, well, no, what's crazier is that Felix Zemdex is now not in the top 10 anymore for 3
Oh my
single.
god, really?
that's crazy, dude. Felix is about
Which,
to come back
like-
with a 3.
I know. Well, you know, I just thought that this day would never come because like he had so many 3x3 singles. Like he had the 566, but he also had like 473 and
That's true.
422 and
Yeah.
459.
He really dominated the
And now-
decade. I think he was the all-decade cuber.
Yeah.
Easily. I think that's accurate. Yeah. Okay, well, this is getting on some random tangent about legendary WRs, which we've already talked plenty about. We've
Oh,
had,
yeah.
Check out that episode, guys.
we've had a couple callbacks
That was
to that
3
episode.
episodes ago.
So-
Hey, check out the Goats of
maybe
Cubing,
2
episode
episodes ago.
4.
Oh, that was episode 4.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I remember
That was a
one.
great episode. I think that
I
episode
love that
really
one.
held up
Which
well.
how you have
too.
good memory.
Yeah, that was a great one.
That's a good one. Okay, well, anyway.
An old school episode. Okay. Anyway, this was us talking about the tech of the WCA website and all the fun
And
statistics on
big
it.
shout out to WST
by-
because I think
WST.
I think they're
Oh, yeah.
underappreciated, and I think that those guys they deserve the love, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, this is the millennial heart. This
Oh,
is the Gen Z heart. No, this is the Gen
This
Z
is the
heart.
Shout
Gen
out-
Z
Like
heart. They
the
make
new
hearts
way
like
to do
this
it.
now.
Oh man, what?
Yeah,
Wait,
because
this
like
is so much better though. Mine is
well, it's like fatter.
like this.
Anyways,
this is like
shout out-
too short.
Shout out to Jonathan Klosko. Shout out to everyone. Jay
that
Fly.
reminds me. Groupify. I think that's on Jonathan Kloska's website.
Oh yeah,
Groupify or-
Groupify.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it's good that you knew some names, Chai. I think it's
I'm
important to.
trying to think of other WST.
Yo,
Uh,
he's
Dr.
not
shout
on
outs.
he's not on WST anymore, but Jeremy Fleischman, man, Jay Fly So Fly, man,
Jay Fly
he,
So Fly.
he did a lot of interesting R&D stuff. It'd be really cool to talk to him one day. Foreshadowing?
He's probably down.
He's probably down. I've
Get him
never
on
was
the
a anymore,
podcast.
so
Me neither.
I would love to talk to him about all of the crazy things that he developed but never saw come to life. So that might be one. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Like secret projects that
Secret projects that are
Not so secret
they're
anymore.
not so secret. He can reveal them himself. How about that?
All right.
Yeah,
on,
exactly. All right. Well, yeah, J-Fly's up to some interesting stuff, but we are not because this.
And it's also like
over.
midnight. We gotta go to sleep.
Oh, it is. Oh, that's true. 2 minutes to midnight. Everybody make a
What?
wish.
I'm gonna salute.
Oh, salute to
we're
WST.
saluting
All right.
WST. I forget.
I'm down for it.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to salute. I'm not in the military.